Dr. Mr. B's film review again, and I'm here with another retro review for a film that is turning 30 years old, and I'm here to talk about a personal favourite of mine, Flatliners, the psychological thriller directed by Joel Schumacher, and it stars some of Hollywood's finest and youngest talent at that time who've gone on to become established stars. Kiefer Sutherland, Kevin Bacon, William Baldwin, Oliver Platt, and Julia Roberts. Flatliners tells the story of 5 young medical students who undertake a dangerous medical experiment to see whether there's actually life after death, but with dangerous consequences after it. I loved Flatliners. The premise was interesting, the performances were great, the way that it was beautifully shot, the acting, the musical score by James Newton Howard, it all made for an exhilarating watch. It is not a horror as such, it is a chiller, and there are some scenes that will make you jump. The cinematography and the director of photography of this film was Jan de Bon. Now, Jan de Bon has worked on classics, Lethal Weapon, Die Hard, and he has gone on to become an established director, having worked on such hits as Speed and Twister. But how he captures certain angles, how he captured Chicago, it almost made for a gothic-like feel. You could tell that they drew inspiration from 1989 Tim Burton's Batman. And you can tell that this was also the inspiration for the 1993 film, The Crow. And James Newton Howard's score, easily one of the best in the business, just how he has utilised the musical compositions. When these guys flatline, the musical compositions that are used for that. The musical score for tension, for horror, for empathy, for resolution. It all makes some great set pieces for the film. Performance-wise, I think that each and every member of this cast gave excellent performances. Kiefer Sutherland as Nelson, I thought it was great. Kiefer Sutherland at that time, in the late 80s, coming into the 90s, he was part of that Brat Pack era. He'd starred in the Young Guns films, so he's just seen as a pretty face. But in this film, he was stripped away of all of those things and he was made to act. He was made to give a performance. And his performance as Nelson was great. It was intense. And he showed himself to be a very, very commanding actor. And he has gone on to become a very commanding actor in other things, like 24. So he has shifted away from that teen boy image and he's given a more mature performance. William Baldwin gave an excellent performance as Joe. Very, very supportive. He was more of the innocent person and the more reckless member of the team. You had 2 of the best supporting and commanding and character actors of all time. Oliver Platt and Kevin Bacon. These 2 are some of the best actors or supporting actors or character actors, whatever you want to call them. They're the best at what they do. I will put them up there with Lawrence Fishburne, Gene Hackman, Don Cheadle, Ed Harris as some of the best character actors out there and best supporting actors. And they added fine support to this film. Kevin Bacon's character, he was the skeptic. He was the one that was trying to dissuade everybody from experiencing whether there's life after death. But he actually went on to undertake the experiment himself. And Oliver Platt's character, Randall Steckel, I liked him. He's the only one that didn't actually undertake the experiment, but he was actually the voice of reason as well, and he actually also added light comedic relief. Julia Roberts' character as Rachel, I thought she was excellent. And this was a character that was tormented over the suicide of her father, and she wanted to see whether there's life after death. And her star was ascending. She had given excellent performances in such films as Mystic Pizza and Steel Magnolias, but this was the film that showcased that she could actually be an actress, but it will be her next release in 1990 that will catapult her into superstardom, and that was Pretty Woman, which I will be reviewing at some point. I always ask myself, was it medically possible to do something like that? With the instructions that Kiefer Sutherland's character gives to his colleagues when he undertakes his first flatlining experiment. I mean, I'm not going to do it. I mean, I don't have the equipment at home, but it was just interesting. Flatliners for me does have some plot holes. I think the biggest plot hole for me was the fact that when these guys flatline, the consequences of them coming back from the dead is that they bring back their sins and they start experiencing hallucinations of people that they have harmed. Kevin Bacon's character Dave, he has hallucinations of a girl that he bullied when he was a child. Joe, William Baldwin's character, has hallucinations of women who he video recorded whilst engaging in sexual relations with. Julia Roberts' character experiences hallucinations from her father's suicide, but this is where the plot flaw is. Kiefer Sutherland's character Nelson has hallucinations of a boy that he bullied. But the problem was that this boy, he not only could see him, he could actually physically hit him. And this boy beats the living daylights out of him on numerous occasions. And there is no explanation as to how he was able to do that. The ending for Flatliners, I felt could have been better. It ends with Nelson flatlining to make amends for his sins, and the team go and rescue him. And Nelson whispers into Dave's ear, it's not a good day to die. And I felt that that could have been done better, because in the opening sequence, Nelson's about to flatline, Randall and Joe are about to switch on the lights, but Nelson says, no, don't switch on the lights as the security are going to come. But the lights are on when the film finishes. And I thought that what would have been better was if the security guards and the doctors would have come in and said, okay, now what the hell is going on? And the film would have ended with a question mark. As a level of, it can be subjective as to what you think could have happened next. Okay, they could have been dismissed from medical school, they could have all pinned the blame on Nelson, they could have made up some type of excuse, but it was just open to speculation. But Flatliners is still a very, very well-paced, very, very well-shot film. And it is a shame that 27 years after Flatliners, they did a remake, with Kiefer Sutherland having a guest cameo appearance in the film, and the film bombed. But Flatliners, 30 years on, can still hold its own. And it's still a film that I enjoy watching, so I'll give this film a very, very strong 8 out of 10. So, hit that subscribe button, help the channel grow, because I'm going to be coming at you with more reviews in the near future. Despite this whole Corona thing, I've got a lot of things in the pipeline that I'm going to be delivering to you. Hit the alarm bell so you can get notifications from me. Hit the like button as well. That's going to get notices so I can help the channel grow. Have you seen Flatliners? Leave a comment if you had. What was your favourite scene from the film? Follow my boy Joe Cobra for some gaming reviews. Follow me on this channel, follow me on Instagram, and I shall see you on the next film review. Take care.